Okay guys, it's story time. In this story I will be telling you guys my first real life panic attack and just about depression and all of that stuff. And hopefully it will be helpful to somebody who, is needing of help in that area. I don't know. But for starters, my first real anxiety attack was when I was 16 years old. And well, I have to tell the story that led up to that attack though, because if I don't tell it, it's not really, you're not really gonna get it. So yes, so the first thing that happened, I was spending the night at my best friend Crystal's house. I was with my friend Rochelle and Crystal, and I was 15. No, I was 16. I was 16 at the time, and we were hanging out, and as all 16-year-olds do, or not all, but all stoner 16-year-olds, we were smoking, and so we went to the gas station that was this. Okay, mind you, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning at this point. It's hell of late. Should not have been out, way past curfew, breaking all the rules. And we went to the gas station because I was basically the only one of us that looked old enough to buy cigarettes. I wasn't old enough, but I didn't get carded because I looked too old, I guess. I don't know. So I bought cigarette. If people needed cigarettes, they'd come and pick me up and take me to the store. Because I'm in a wheelchair, so they'd come to my house and get me, and we would go to the store, and and then we'd hang out and smoke and whatever. But we were smoking weed, not cigarettes at the time. We were so bad, and don't do that. But yeah. So so we went to the gas station, and as we were leaving the gas station, I noticed a man with a dog, and I'm kind of fearful of dogs that I don't know. I'm scared of dogs. So, he was walking a different direction. But now that I look back at it, or I didn't really notice it at the time, that he kind of cut and started, following towards the way we were going, that wasn't his original direction, that he kind of switched it. So we were walking back to Crystal's house. We were gonna go and basically smoke, and because we had smoked a little bit at a male friend of ours' house beforehand, and we were just gonna go back to her house and finish it up and go to sleep and whatever. So I had this really, really nice leather coat. My mom bought it for me. It was a Wilson's leather, and it was a $250 coat at the time. And for a teenage girl, that's kind of a lot. And for our neighborhood, it was kind of a lot of money for a coat. So yeah, so it had fur on the hood and everything. It was really, really nice coat. And but I was hot because it was I want to say it was April maybe. I don't know. It's starting to get warm out. It was, the switch over from winter to spring. So it was kind of the switch, and I was hot. So I told Crystal to put it over her shoulders, and because it was too hot for her to wear it, but she did have it draped over her shoulders. And I had just bought a fresh pack of cigarettes. That's the part that drives me insane. My blunt was in my pocket. Oh. Anyway. So the man with the dog. So he's like coming up the block behind us. And we're a good 40, 50 feet away from him. Like, not in a range where he should have said anything. Like, he had a hold of his dog. And he just kind of... Me and Rochelle, we're scared of dogs. So we, like, took off. We, like... Rochelle's pushing me. We're going fast. Like, we're getting out of there. Because we want no parts of the dog. And he yells, like, don't run, he'll bite you. And I'm like, whoa, we've got this dog, like, we've got like a half a block on this dog. Like, the only way the dog's gonna bite us is if you let it go and, you know, it chases us down. So, you know, me and her, we keep going, like, like, I don't care what you're talking about. But Crystal stopped, and I don't know why she did this. Like, I haven't, like, to this day, I still have no clue why she, like, slowed down. But she, like, slowed down enough to where he caught up to her. And so she was petting the dog. I'm like, dude, you don't pet strange dogs. It's just, no. So, so we're looking, like, I don't even know what made us turn around and look back at her. But we turn around and we look back, and this man has the dog in one hand. In his other hand is his hand over Crystal's mouth, dragging her into between two houses. And at the time, it was called the Mitchell Street Rapist. And because, like, where we lived, there was a street that was called Mitchell Street, and it was like a really busy, like, it had a lot of businesses and, you know, a lot of people, and there were women getting snatched and raped, and this was like happening, you know, around that time. So that's the first and only thing that I think is, oh my God, he's gonna rape my best, you know, he's got her, he's taking her, and he's dragging her between these houses, and we're so far ahead of her that there's just no way that we could even, first of all, the dog was a Doberman Pinscher. I don't know if you know anything about that dog, but that dog is scary. So, I wasn't gonna go anywhere near that dog, first of all, and then it was a grown man, and I wasn't gonna go near him either. But I was, you know, screaming for help, and Rochelle ran up onto a porch and was banging to get help. And long story short, the house she was banging on had a for rent sign in the window. She didn't see that, I guess. I'm like, after I realized and gained my composure a little bit, because, you know, I turned around and my friend is being dragged with a hand over her mouth into a, you know, dark, between two houses, and the houses are very close in this area, like very close, like maybe a little bit more than hand's length apart. So definitely like an enclosed space, scary and terrifying. So she stopped knocking on that door and ran across the street, and these people opened up their door and they looked out at us, saw we were like teenagers, and just like assumed that we were pranking or playing, or they didn't want any parts of it or whatever. So they just closed their door and went back in their house, and I was like, oh my God. So a couple seconds, but it felt like forever. A couple seconds later, Crystal comes running from, we call it a gangway, I don't know if you guys call it a gangway, but from between those two houses in the gangway, she comes running out and running towards me. She no longer has my coat around her shoulders. So, you know, she's running, and then for some reason, Rochelle, to this day, it makes me laugh because, and that's why I guess I want to share the humor in it. It's kind of funny. She sits down and starts crying. Like, we just got robbed. There's a crazy man with a Doberman Pinscher in our near vicinity. We do not have time for you to break down right now. So I'm like, excuse my language, but I'm like, bitch, I'm leaving you. Like, I'm leaving you. So me and Crystal, we get back to her house. We call the police. And, you know, they didn't find the guy. So we're, you know, I was pretty depressed because somewhere they had a joint left, and my mom came because she like was upset that I was out at that hour, and so she came and she picked me up and she said I had to go home. And then my friends smoked without me. Like, I needed that smoke after this horrendous ordeal. Like, I needed it. But anyway, so next, so then a couple, like maybe a week goes by, and I'm back at the same gas station. And I think I was there to get some hot Cheetos, some Flamin' Cheetos, and something to drink or something. And there's like a laundromat, and then there's the gas station. So in the laundromat parking lot is the Doberman Pinscher dog. I'm 110% sure of it. So, you know, I think I was actually with Crystal and Nicole and possibly Blanca at that point. So I'm like, okay, like that is him, that he's got, you know, he's got the dog. So there was like a payphone, like in between the two buildings there was a alley. So there was like an alley separating them. So on the gas station side was the phone, and then there was an alley, and then a big parking lot for the laundromat. And he's just sitting in the parking lot with his dog. I think he was waiting on his laundry or something, I don't know. But he was sitting there for a while. So I got on the phone, I called 911, and I'm like, okay, the guy that robbed me like a week and a half ago, he's at this laundromat. You know, please come help me. I'm scared to death. I don't know what to do. He, you know, I think he saw me. I'm not sure. So I sat there talking on the phone and just pretending, you know, nonchalantly that I was talking to a boyfriend or a friend or something, and I was talking to the police and waiting for them to get there. So it seemed like forever, but you already know it always does when you are scared and in need of emergency help. It seems like forever. So the police get there, and they came loaded. I mean, their shotguns were out and aimed and pointed. They were ready to kill a dog, a man. It was just great because, you know, it wasn't great because killing somebody is not great, but it was great for me because I felt protected. I was like, yes, thank you, you know, whatever. So they arrested him, and yeah, so I was like super happy they arrested him. I'm like, yeah, ooh, yeah, he's going to jail now. So I later found out that I was not the only victim. Well, Crystal was the victim because he snatched her, but it was my property that was stolen. So, you know, I'm also a victim. You know, he didn't like grab me or anything, but he stole my goods. So, so now if this is in your state, and I don't know, but when this happened, it was 96 or 97, not sure, but not exact. I think it was 96, I would say. Yeah, 96. I'm gonna say 96. I think it was 96. I'm not sure. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But so I don't know if it still happens this way, because you know I haven't done anything to need the police or have any type of, you know, police problems or anything. No one's done anything to me or anything like that. So thank you, Lord. Thank you. That I can say that. But yeah, so when you get arrested, they give the arrested the complainant's information. They get all their, like, all the evidence and all that stuff. They get it. So they got Crystal's address, Crystal's phone number, Rochelle's address, Rochelle's phone number, my address, and my phone number. So a couple months go by. You know, nothing major happened or anything. You know, I thought, you know, oh, he was, I need to step back a little bit because I don't know if I said it. I wasn't the only person that he had done this to. He was robbing people for coats. That was like his thing, and he was using his dog to do it. There was multiple complainants or multiple victims other than me and Crystal. So yeah, so when when they finally caught him, you know, everybody else that he had done it to were very, very, very happy that, you know, we caught the bad guys, you know. But anyway, so so back forward to a couple months had went by, and I talked to males on the phone, you know, boys. I was 16, you know, I had boys calling, you know, a few. So, you know, when my mom picked up the phone, she didn't really think anything of it other than, you know, a guy was calling me. So, you know, she called me to the phone. I came to the phone like, hello, pick it up, and it's him. It's the man who robbed me, who before this had happened didn't know me. Before he was arrested, he didn't know me. He didn't know my phone number. He didn't know my address. He knew nothing about me, only that he had my coat. And I just feel like it's kind of like, why would you give a minor, I was a minor victim's address to a phone number to a perpetrator or whatever he is. I don't know what you call it, but to the bad guy. Why would you give it to the bad guy? I just don't understand. So I get on the phone and I realize, you know, after a couple seconds, it's him. And I'm so scared. And at first he was really nice. Like on the phone, he was really, really nice. Like, I'm so he was Hispanic, so he like had a Hispanic accent kind of. So he's like, I'm so sorry. Can I pay for your coat? And he was offering, you know, me money to not press charges on him, to get the charges dropped, and he would buy me a new coat. Well, you know, I didn't care about the money for the coat. I don't want my friend to be dragged into, it was just beyond that. So I like denied. Like I told him no. Like, no, I'm going to court. And the next thing he tells me is, I'm gonna kill you. You won't go to court because I'm gonna kill you. And at first someone saying they're gonna kill you, you're a little bit scared. But when they tell you that they're gonna kill you and they tell you your address and it's the correct address, you are 16 years old, you are afraid. And I lost it. Like, that wasn't even my first panic attack. No, from that point, that is what spiraled into this fear. So I was convinced, completely and utterly convinced, that he was gonna kill me. He knew my address. He called again after that one time too. And my mom knew it was him and didn't give me the phone. Like, she screened my calls after that, So then about a month after I received my phone call, Crystal lived upstate, like in a duplex, and she lived in the upstairs apartment. His family rented the apartment downstairs. Yes, his family rented the apartment downstairs. You're hearing me correctly. From her, and was trying to go through her to get to me, because even though he grabbed her, it was my property. So it was kind of like my say on whether or not the charges would be dropped or whatever. So he was, not threatening her, but he was really, really nice when they lived downstairs, and were trying to get me to come to her house, and trying to get her to convince me to drop the charges and they would just buy me a new coat. Well, I wasn't going for that, so I just stayed away from my best friend, which I think that's was kind of the beginning of, not the end of our friendship, because we're still friends. Like, we're friends on Facebook and stuff, but our super close friendship, yeah, was kind of the end. Huh? Oh, you want me to take baby? Hi, this baby Elijah. Okay, so like I was saying, I'm watching him for the week. So, yeah. Hi, baby. What's that? What is that? What is that? Okay, so like I was saying, now I lost my place. You bum.
Here you go.
You gotta make sure it's in there.
It's in.
No, it wasn't. Spit it right out. Here, bub. Okay, he's gonna be down here, cause. Okay, you see Titi? You see me? Yeah. Okay, so where was I? So they were trying to, that was the beginning of the end of our friend. Not really our end of our friendship, because we're still friends, like I said. But our closeness, we were forever. I was always at her house. I was, but I was scared to go to her house, just because his family lived downstairs, and he told me he was gonna kill me, and I really thought he meant it. So I started not sleeping, not eating. I really thought I was gonna die. I thought that he was going to come to my house in the middle of the night and kill me. And I don't want to say I was a morning person, because I don't think I was ever really a morning person, but I could get up in the morning. My friends, when I spent the night at their house, they were morning people, so when they got up, we would get up with them, but now I became this person who stayed up the entire night looking out the window, checking for suspicious cars, and waiting for the man to come and kill me. And, you know, I had a social life, but it was pretty much at home. Like, if my friends came over to my house, then we would hang out. But as far as me, like, going to their house and all that stuff, I kind of stopped doing it for a long while. And I started to see a psychiatrist because I couldn't sleep at night, and I really thought I was, like, going insane. Like, yeah. So, I got this overwhelming fear of death. Like, I'm like, for some reason I put it in my head that I was gonna die as a teenager. Like, that, well, because of my muscular dystrophy, I was always told that I wouldn't live to be an adult. Like, growing up, they thought, I don't know why they shared this with me, but they would say, like, that I would die young. So I had it, like, already kind of in my mind, and then him adding to it, I even thought even more that I was gonna die at a young age. So my friend Jessica at the time, we went to a concert, and I was really nervous about going to, like, because I was having what I called just anxious feeling. Not really panic attacks, but just feeling really anxious. And like I said, I didn't want to go anywhere. I would rather stay home and just, you know, I'm rocking the baby. I would just stay home and want to chill, you know, at home. And so, like, the day before the concert, smoking weed. I don't know. I smoked some weed with Jessica, and we were in my room, and like I said, I could walk, but it was really difficult to walk. Like, me walking by myself it didn't happen. Never happened. I always walked assisted, or like using an object to walk. And so I don't know, I hit the weed, and Jessica said, "Girl, you okay?" And I'm like, "What?" I was like, I was thrown aback. I didn't know, like, what she meant. She's like, "Girl, you look like you dying." And I was like, "I'm dying?" And as soon as she said it, like, it just, panic attack, 10th power. I literally thought that I was dying. Like, my heart just skipped out of my chest. I just really, really felt like I was dying. I got up, which I don't do, because getting up from a sitting position was, like, really, really, really hard to do. I got up off my bed and I walked into my mom's room crying and Mom, I'm dying. And I remember her, like, consoling me. "You're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Your heart, you know, your heart's fine." I'm checking my pulse with my hand. Like, I was just completely scared. So I didn't call 911. My mom didn't call 911. Thank goodness, because it was just a panic attack. But I laid in the bed with my mom, and I remember looking up and praying and just, you know, apologizing to God. Oh, okay. Do you have a bottle? Hey, Bub Bub. Hey, Bub Bub. Hey, Bub Bub. Do you have a bottle?
Yeah. Was it good? Did you sit there and be quiet while I recorded? Good?
It's fine. Okay, so now I have a bottle. Okay. So, where was I? Oh, so I just remember, like, praying, like, looking up at the corner of the room and just, you know, being forgiven for my sins, and just praying and, you know, realizing that smoking weed just probably wasn't for me. And yeah, so I did end up going to that concert. I had a really hi baby, it's okay. I had a really good time. And it was like LL Cool J and R. Kelly and Escape and just everybody back then. It was really nice. And yeah, so that was like my first official panic attack. And then of course I saw like the psychiatrist and everything after that, and talked about it, and we came to the realization that I just needed to stop obsessing over death. And that man that did that, whatever, he did get sentenced, and he did go to prison for the robbery that he did. It was strong arm robbery because he grabbed her or whatever. And yeah, so he did go to prison for that, and I didn't have to go and actually testify because they had enough evidence on him already, because he had the coat at his wife had my coat or something. So yeah, so that was that, and that is my story time. And I just been basically, sorry, the baby's like, I've been basically living with, actually I'm gonna come back. Okay, so that is the story and my story time, and that is basically why, sorry, like a lash or something irritating my eye. And that's basically why, or not why, but how I came to realize that I have panic attacks. And it all stemmed from not getting enough sleep, because like I said, I would stay up all night and sleep for a few hours during the day. You know, I have a little brother, a big sister. She had a 2-year-old at the time. My mom, her boyfriend, you know, just a house full of people, in and out, doing whatever. So it was really hard to sleep during the day, and I wouldn't sleep in my room because of where it was located in the house. It just didn't feel safe. So I had to sleep in the living room, and yeah, so I was just kind of cray. And so that's what started all of my anxiety problems and depression. You know, you never really know what causes depression. Just feeling sad, I guess. But my anxiety definitely came from that situation, because before that I was never afraid of anything. Like, I went anywhere, did anything without any hesitation. Like, even being disabled, like, you would be surprised at the situations, which there'd be so many more story times. I have so many stories to tell from my teenage years, like crazy things that I did that were pretty cool and worth telling. Yeah, so yeah, I was really a really outgoing, really like spontaneous, just not afraid of anything, out there kind of girl. And that man changed everything. I don't even remember his name. I should totally remember his name, but I don't. I want to think it was like Jose or something, but maybe it was Carl. I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah. So yeah, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed my story time. And my phone's ringing, of course. And check out this makeup look that I just did. It's on this channel, so yeah. And then you can check out my Sims channel if you guys watch Sim videos, or if you don't watch Sim videos and you just like stories and stuff. I do like story plays on there, so you could watch those. And that I'll leave a link in the description for that channel. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to my story, and leave a comment below if you've ever had to deal with a creeper or have a crazy story that you would want to tell, or if you even want to just comment about how crazy my story was. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video that I make. Love you guys.